Good morning and welcome to this episode of Ensigns to the Nations. As you know, we usually shoot our episodes as we walk around the Saratoga Springs Temple as a family. There's been a few that we haven't done that. We've gone to some different temple sites.
Yeah.
We've gone to the Detroit Temple, we've gone to Kirtland Temple, Logan Temple, and the Grand Blanc or the Grand Rapids Temple site.
Yeah.
This week we're doing something very, very different. We're actually in Michigan. What you see behind us here are remnants of the tragic shooting and destruction that took place about 3 weeks ago on December 28th, 2025. It was a horrific day that left 4 of the church members dead and 8 others very seriously injured. One of those was actually my brother, who was shot 3 times in the chest, in the abdomen, and in the hip, and very critically injured. He is on the road to recovery, but still has a long way to go. It was just a horrific event that left so much destruction in its pathway, as you can see behind us and by the individuals that were affected that day. But we also have some close connections. As I mentioned, my brother, I grew up in this ward.
Right.
So I knew many of the members. This was my building. This was the building that I came to from a very young age.
You were here at the groundbreaking.
Yeah.
I mean, it
yeah.
was
40 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and then we moved back here with our young family.
2 little kids.
Our young children, and Kurt was actually in the bishopric with Brother Hayden, Bishop Hayden, who was one of those that lost his life on that day. So we actually, you know, as you see here, it's all fenced in. You're not able to get any closer to the area than this. We don't want to just talk about destruction, though. That's not what we're going to talk about today. We're actually going to talk about rebuilding. So what you see behind us is not the end.
No.
This is the beginning, and the church will rebuild. And the person that tried to take down the church that day didn't succeed.
Right.
We know that it will be rebuilt, and as will the testimonies and the relationships and all of those things that were destroyed on that day. Better angels will prevail. We know that. This week's lesson is a house unto my name, and it actually talks about building up 2 different houses, the Nauvoo Temple and the Nauvoo House. And we just felt inspired, as all scriptures, that we should take those scriptures to heart and apply them to our lives.
So as Allison said, this is in section 124 in the Doctrine and Covenants. And it basically does talk a lot about building up. It's talking about building up a new place for gathering. The saints were kicked out of Missouri. The governor said, he gave the extermination order. They all went in the winter of 1838 and 1839, and they moved out to Illinois in a place called Quincy, Illinois. At the same time, Joseph Smith was in Liberty Jail. It was a horrible thing. We talked about that last week. But as they were getting moved to a different place, their captors let them go, let them escape. And so Joseph and his companions joined the saints in Quincy, Illinois. A few days after he did that, he rode his horse up to about 50 miles north to a place called Commerce, Illinois. And in Commerce, he thought, this is a place we might be able to live. It was a horrible place. It had all kinds of swamps.
It was a swampland.
It was a big swampland, lots of mosquitoes, malaria. It was terrible. But the Lord knew, or Joseph knew, that the Lord wanted a gathering place, and he could get this place for a real deal. In fact, I think he swapped this for some land that the church owned in Kirtland, Ohio. So a lot of building this gathering place, building a couple of houses unto the Lord, as Allison just talked about, building really the church. So imagine Joseph riding up to Commerce, Illinois. This is the first time in a long time he didn't have to have armed guards, that he was happy with the people that were around him and his neighbors. So this was a good thing for him. And it was kind of a fresh start for everybody there. They get there, they have to dig and dig and dig. They dug trenches and ditches for a long time to be able to get all that water out and flowing over to the Mississippi River. And then once they did that, they had to fill in with the dirt, and they had to then start building houses and big places of business, making it really, they did so much, and they did such a good job turning this into Nauvoo, which, as we talked about before, this Nauvoo is called the City Beautiful because that's what Nauvoo means in Hebrew. But it was a swamp, mosquito-infested place, and they turned it to one of the largest cities in Illinois.
Yeah, it wasn't super beautiful when they got there. They did a lot of rebuilding of building.
Yep.
And like you mentioned, it was infested with a lot of mosquitoes and swampland, and malaria outbreaks were happening. They didn't know at the time that it was caused by mosquitoes, though. The word malaria actually means bad air. They thought it was the swampy air. But anyway, a lot of the folks there were very sick. Joseph actually got sick, and shortly after that, he got up and with some other elders began going from tent to tent to heal people.
Oh, yeah.
And this was July 22nd, 1830, when they kind of banded together and just started a mass healing. It was actually
sick
called
himself, right?
the Day of God's Power.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. The Day of God's Power. They just went and got her done. They went up and just healed everybody. In fact, it became so well known, this power of healing, that even some non-members who were in surrounding communities heard about this happening, and they sought out Joseph and the elders to come and do healing for them as well.
I think about that, and just the place that they're trying to build, this gathering place, a place of refuge. As we pass by this area here.
Well, this is when the shooter entered the building. Of course, many of the members were scared and fleeing, and they ran out the back of the church building here toward the woods.
Yeah.
This is where they ran to. We spoke with some of our friends who were there that day, and they ran down. There's a lake down there, and that's where they found safety and banded together until they got word that they could come out and everything had been secured.
So, a wonderful gathering place that the Lord wanted them to build up. In addition to building a gathering place and a place for the saints to be, the Lord asked them to build a couple of houses. He called both of them houses dedicated unto the Lord. One of them was called the Nauvoo House, and it was supposed to be a hotel of sorts and a place for people to come and to visit Nauvoo. And
I love everything about the Nauvoo House.
Yeah,
the
it's so
whole
cool.
idea. There's a scripture in 23. There are instructions on how to build this Nauvoo House, which is still standing today.
Yeah.
And it's in verse 23, and it says, "And it shall be a house for boarding, a house that strangers may come from afar to lodge therein. Therefore, let it be a good house, worthy of all acceptation, and the weary traveler may find health and safety while he shall contemplate the word of the Lord."
Right.
I really find that to be a place I want to go to. Doesn't it sound great? And I also think it is a place I want my own home to be like. So I think about, we've lived in different cities and states throughout the years, and now living in Saratoga Springs right by the temple. We live in a place that a lot of people travel to.
Yeah.
When they want to come to Salt Lake, or they need to go to BYU to drop off their kids. And so I like to make our house a place for weary travelers. Not just that they can come and find safety and fun and reminisce with us, but also a place, like it says, to contemplate the word of the Lord.
Yeah.
What a great thing to have even our children come home now with their children. We've got grandkids that come and stay with us sometimes, and I just want our house to be, when people walk in that door, all of those things from verse 23, a place where they can find health, safety, and where we talk about they feel the Spirit when they're there.
I don't know how much of our kids and grandkids come and visit us and contemplate the word of the Lord while they're at our house. House.
Oh, they do.
But I certainly hope that it's a
In
place
their
where
own
they
way.
can. Yeah.
In their own way. When we say prayers, just those little things. I don't
Yeah.
think it has to be anything
Right.
where we're lecturing or giving a lesson, but they just know and they just feel that. I hope that's what we've created.
So in addition to the Nauvoo House, of course, the Lord told them to build a Nauvoo Temple. Again, the Lord wants them to have a center place, a place where they can focus on the Lord at every gathering place they had. The Nauvoo Temple was that perfect place, and they spent so much time on that. One thing they talked about with the Nauvoo Temple is that it was going to be a place of renewal. He's continuing to renew his ordinances and his covenants and reveal them. He said, "And verily I say unto you, let this house be built unto my name, and therein..."
Oh my goodness. Can I stop for a second?
Yeah.
I just found this on the ground.
Oh.
I literally just picked this up on the ground. Oh my goodness. Each life that touches ours for good. It's wet. It's burned. Isn't that something? Each life that touches ours for good reflects our own great mercy, Lord. Thou sendest blessings from above, the words and deeds of those who loved. Oh, and on the other side happens to be love at home. There is beauty all around when there's love at home. When there's love at home, peace and plenty here abide, smiling sweet on every side. Time doth softly, sweetly glide when there's love at home.
Wow.
We did not know we were going to find this on the ground, and how interesting that we're talking about home,
Yeah.
building a house unto the Lord. I'm going to keep this. I'm gonna frame that. This is something just lying here on the grass.
That's special.
What a blessing. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm sorry, I interrupted your thought.
Well, so the thought is that the Lord reveals his ordinances, and he didn't do it all in the first temple that they built, of course, in Kirtland, but he did do some of them. He continued to build more. Now I'm looking all over the ground to see if there's anything else that's really cool.
Only piece that's sitting there.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
In the Nauvoo Temple, they did baptisms for the dead. Of course, baptisms for the dead, Joseph Smith talked about it just earlier than this, and they did a lot of them, and they're very excited about it. In the Mississippi River, the Lord said, "You know what, that's cool, I'll let you do that for a while, but October 3rd in 1841, I want you to stop, because we need to, this is a sacred thing, and it needs to be done in a sacred place, so until you build a font." And in November they did, and they started doing baptisms for the dead there. So the Lord's continuing to reveal things in those temples. He continued to reveal more in many other temples, so that's what the house of the Lord was supposed to be for when they built that. What else?
Well, I'm just thinking now as I'm contemplating when there's love at home, peace and plenty here abide, smiling sweet on every side. And, you know, as we talk about this lesson, build a house unto my name. We think about the Nauvoo House, we think about the Nauvoo Temple, we think about the chapels that we meet in every week and our own homes, and how we can rebuild them. We can build them into a place where testimonies are strengthened, where people find solace and safety, and the word of the Lord is discussed. So all of these things come together. What a beautiful section this is for us to think about and learn from, even in the wake of destruction, that better angels will prevail, and we know that the work of the Lord will go forward. Families are forever.
Well, thank you for allowing us to be here and to watch us here today. And we really, this is special to us, and we felt the Spirit. So join us next time on
Ensigns to the Nations. Oh my gosh, Kurt.